Okay, so we're diving into The Secret today. You know, that book about manifesting your dream life? It's been everywhere, right? People can't stop talking about how it's changed their lives. We're going to take a deep dive into what it's all about.
Exactly. And I think a good place to start is with the law of attraction. Now, before you go thinking, not that again.
Yeah, I get it. It can sound kind of cliche.
It does. It really does. But stick with me because we're going beyond the surface here. We're trying to give you something you can actually use.
Totally. So when you say law of attraction, what does that actually mean? Because I think we've all seen those pictures of people like meditating on a beach with cocktails, trying to manifest. And it's not quite as simple as that, right?
No, it's definitely more nuanced. It's not about wishing for something and then poof, it appears. It's more about understanding how our thoughts and feelings actually influence what we experience in our lives. Think of it like this. Everything in the universe, everything, is made up of energy. And that energy vibrates at different frequencies.
Okay, I'm following so far.
And just like, a magnet attracts like, the same principle applies here. The kind of energy you're putting out there, that's the kind of energy you're going to attract back.
So if I'm constantly thinking negative thoughts, feeling stressed or anxious, I'm basically attracting more negativity into my life.
Exactly. But here's the good news. The same applies to positive thoughts and feelings. So when you focus on the good, when you're genuinely grateful for what you have, and you're clear about what you want, well, you start aligning your energy with that, and things start to shift.
Okay, that makes sense. It's like tuning a radio to a specific station, right? You can't receive the signal unless you're on the right frequency. But how do we actually tune ourselves to the frequency of our desires, especially when life gets kind of crazy? I know The Secret talks about a 3-step process to do this.
It does, the creative process. And it really is as simple as it sounds, though putting it into practice is where the magic happens.
So 3 steps to manifestation. What are they?
Ask, believe, receive.
All right, let's break it down, starting with ask. How do we even begin asking the universe for what we want?
It's all about getting really clear about your desires. And I don't mean vague things like, oh, I want to be happy.
Yeah, what does that even mean?
Exactly. It's about getting specific. What does happiness actually look like to you? What do you want to experience more of?
So no more wishy-washy desires. We need laser focus on what we want.
Got it. Now, what about believe? That's a big one.
It is. And honestly, this is where I see a lot of people get stuck. It's not enough to just think about what you want, to just know it on an intellectual level. You have to truly believe it's possible. You have to embody that feeling of already having it.
So it's not just a mental exercise. It's about really feeling it.
Exactly. The universe responds to our feelings, to our energy, way more than our thoughts, you know?
So are you saying we can't just think our way to a new reality? We have to feel our way there?
You got it. Remember my friend Marcy? She really wanted to manifest her ideal partner. But she didn't just sit around wishing for him. She started living as if he was already there.
Wait, really? What did she do? Oh, she went all out. Like she set an extra place at the dinner table, even picked out a spot for his toothbrush.
Wow. She was really committed to making it feel real.
She was. And you know what? It worked. A few months later, she met her now husband. The universe responded to her energy, to her unwavering belief in what she was creating.
So she basically tricked the universe into thinking she was already in a relationship.
Kind of. It's not really about tricking the universe, though. It's more about aligning yourself with what you want, becoming a vibrational match for it. But yeah, her story is a pretty amazing example of how powerful this stuff can be.
It is. But gotta be honest, sometimes it's hard to keep that belief going strong, Especially when you're faced with setbacks or challenges. Life throws curveballs.
Oh, absolutely. It's not always easy, that's for sure. But that's where the third step comes in. Receive. This is about staying open to receiving what you've asked for, trusting the process.
So let's say you've ordered something online. You don't keep checking the tracking number every 5 minutes, right? You trust that it's on its way.
Exactly. You've put in the request, and now you're allowing it to come to you. Sometimes there might be a delay. Maybe the delivery truck breaks down or something. But that doesn't mean you're not getting your package. It just means there's a little hiccup along the way.
Okay, I'm with you. So we've got our 3 steps: ask, believe, receive. But let's be real. There are going to be times when it feels tough to keep that positive energy flowing. The Secret talks a lot about gratitude and visualization as tools for this. What's the deal with those?
They're like the power tools of manifestation. Let's start with gratitude. It's about cultivating a deep appreciation for what you already have. And that's key. because the universe responds to how you're feeling right now.
So if you're constantly focusing on what you lack, you're basically telling the universe, hey, I don't have enough.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But when you're grateful for what is present in your life, even the small things, you're shifting that energy to a place of abundance. And that's a much more magnetic frequency.
So it's like training your brain to look for the good, even amidst chaos.
Exactly. And, the more you focus on gratitude, the more things you start to notice to be grateful for. It's pretty cool how it works.
It's like a positive feedback loop. Now, what about visualization? I have to admit, I always struggled with that one. I mean, isn't that just daydreaming? How does picturing something in your mind make it more likely to happen?
Because our brains are powerful things. They often can't tell the difference between a vividly imagined experience and a real one. So when you repeatedly visualize yourself having or doing something you desire, you're basically creating new neural pathways in your brain as if it's already happened.
Wait, seriously, so we're not just creating pretty pictures in our heads, we're actually rewiring our brains.
You got it. Think about Olympic athletes. They don't just hope they'll win, right? They visualize it. They see themselves crossing that finish line, feeling the weight of that medal.
And it's not just about the visuals either. They're tapping into those emotions, that feeling of victory.
Exactly. The more senses you can involve in your visualization, sight, sound, even smell, the more real it becomes to your subconscious mind.
Okay, so we're getting somewhere. We've got our 3 steps, our power tools. Now, how do we take all of this and apply it to specific areas of our lives? Like money, for example. Because let's be real, that's something a lot of people are trying to manifest.
For sure. And the principles are the same, no matter what you're trying to attract. When it comes to money, the secret really emphasizes shifting from a scarcity mindset to an abundance mindset. So instead of focusing on what you don't have, debt, bills, not enough, you focus on what you want to attract.
So changing the script in our heads. Instead of saying, I can't afford that, it's more like, how can I afford that?
Exactly. And it's not about denying your current reality. It's about choosing to focus your energy on where you want to go. And another really important concept in The Secret when it comes to money is the idea of giving to receive.
Interesting. So the more generous you are, the more abundance you attract.
You got it. When you give freely, whether it's your time, money, or talents, you're sending out a powerful signal that you believe in abundance.
So it's not about giving with the expectation of getting something back. It's about giving from a place of, like, genuine generosity.
Precisely. It's about aligning your energy with the frequency of abundance. And that, my friend, is where the magic happens.
So we've talked about money, but The Secret also talks about relationships, right? Like attracting your soulmate, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
What's the secret sauce there?
Well, it all starts with you.
Makes sense. You can't love someone else if you don't love yourself first.
Right. That's the foundation. Absolutely.
Yeah.
You can't attract a healthy, loving relationship if you don't have that with yourself first.
Remember. Right. But what about relationships that are already kind of messy? Can you actually use this stuff to change someone else or make them behave the way you want?
The million-dollar question.
Yeah.
You can't really control other people, The real magic happens when you focus on yourself, on how you show up in the relationship. Instead of trying to change them, focus on what you appreciate about them.
So it's about shifting your perspective, even if it's hard.
Exactly. And remember, you attract what you are. So the more loving and understanding you are, the more you'll invite those qualities into your relationships.
Okay, that makes sense. So much of this is about energy, isn't it? Like becoming a vibrational match for what you want.
It really is. It's all connected.
We've covered a lot of ground, but there's one more area I wanted to touch on before we wrap up. Health. Because The Secret talks about that too, right? How our thoughts influence our well-being.
Absolutely. Our bodies are constantly responding to our thoughts and beliefs. If you believe you're healthy and vibrant, your body's more likely to reflect that.
So it's like what you focus on expands, right? If you're constantly worrying about getting sick, you're more likely to attract that into your life.
Exactly. And while The Secret shouldn't be taken as medical advice, it does highlight the mind-body connection. Laughter, joy, positive self-talk. These things all contribute to a healthier life.
It's about focusing on what you want, not what you fear. Wow, this whole conversation has been so eye-opening. It's like we have way more power than we realize. But I guess with great power comes great responsibility, huh?
There you go. The law of attraction isn't a magic wand. It's not about blaming yourself for what hasn't manifested yet. It's about realizing you have the power to create a different experience moving forward.
So what's one final takeaway you want to leave our listeners with? If they only remember one thing from this whole deep dive on The Secret, what should it be?
that the universe is abundant and supportive. It's always working in your favor. Your job is to get clear on what you want, believe it's possible, and then take action. And most importantly, enjoy the ride.
I love that. So to everyone listening, embrace the power you have to create a life you love. Start today.